What's up guys, Magic Knives here, and in today's video I'm bringing to you an Airsoft review on the Raven Evolution Neo M4 carbine rifle. This is probably one of the best budget guns you can ever get with your buck. So, and I'm gonna break down what you get with this gun. So, this is your typical M4 AEG rifle that you could. That looks just like the rental guns you always see at airsoft fields, and this, without a doubt, would make an amazing rental gun if you're ever thinking about starting your own airsoft field or something, or if you're just starting out in airsoft. Obviously, you can just. This is a great gun that you can use to save money, and if you're not really looking to customize anything too much, you just want something that's able to shoot, and maybe you can put maybe one or two accessories, which, as you can see, I put a red dot on here and a rear sight here. It normally comes with a carry handle, but I've removed that and placed a red dot and a rear sight just to make this a little bit more slick. But granted, the carry handle has sights, so it does work fine with the front sight of this gun. So it's just an FYI. Now, this, first and foremost, this is a full polymer body gun. There's very little metal parts, and this makes the gun extremely light. I think this is probably right around maybe 5 pounds, more or less. I'm not 100% sure, but it makes this gun super lightweight. I can carry this thing for probably a whole day and not get tired. I know with my M4, my VFC M4, it's probably around 7-ish pounds, so a little heavier, right? AK is like 8 or 9 pounds. This is super light. Like, for a beginner, if you haven't done enough arm lifting, this is very easy to carry around without a doubt. So very good for beginners. The crane stock here, this is where you'll house your battery. The adjustment is right here with this trigger. You just pull back to make it longer and push it in to make it shorter. Okay. The one thing I find though is, like, you can remove the stock just by pulling this trigger down and then taking it off just like this. Okay, and then so forth. Now, granted, this is not how you would want to install the battery, at least in my suggestion. So what you would want to do, because there's not too much battery space, I find, with this crane stock, what they do provide is that this butt pad is removable. So there's a little tab here on both sides. You want to squeeze this part and then remove the butt pad. Then you're going to want to take this butt plate off, just like that. Now, this gun, at least in this one particular, has a Dean's connector. Okay, it's not a Tamiya, so if you are like me, or if you have those LiPo batteries that have Tamiya connectors, you're going to either need to get an adapter, which I do have here, or you're just going to have to get a LiPo battery with Dean's connectors, so bear that in mind. So I'm not sure if this gun does come available with a Tamiya connector, because I'm kind of old school that way, but it is what it is. So to maximize your battery space, now I'm just using a standard size 11.1 LiPo, okay, and I do suggest you use 11.1 with this gun, because this thing, when it's on 11.1, it works very good. So, which I'll showcase to you in a bit. So, to maximize your battery space, you're going to obviously plug the battery in first. And then, because now you have access to these side tubes, okay, you're going to squeeze this part in first from the left side, and then squeeze the battery itself on the right side tube. So you want to, this wires, you squish or push it in on the left, and then the battery push on the right. And once you've done that, just keep pushing it as much as you can. And you'll want to try to do this with the stock fully retracted, by the way, just so you can ensure that it's gives you the maximum amount of movement. So then now you're going to put the butt plate back on, and then put the butt pad back on, just like that, and then you can just do a quick test, and so now you can make sure, and that way you still have your battery fully installed and enough battery space, but also that the wires aren't getting in the way of your stock. Okay, so that's one trick that I found with this particular crane stock for this gun, that at least for a standard 11.1 LiPo battery, this is how you can make sure you can install your battery without the wires getting in the way of the stock. Okay, now the safety on this gun is only found on the left side. Okay, so you got your standard safe, semi, and full auto. Okay, it is pretty stiff to start off, but otherwise not a big deal, and it is quite plasticky, so it's not the most satisfying sound like you get with your high quality M4s where you get those nice clicking noises. This is, yeah, it's not very satisfying to say the least, but it's a plastic gun, so it is what it is. But let me show you firstly the trigger response with this. This, by the way, has a MOSFET. So there's not many guns, or budget guns let alone, have a MOSFET pre-installed. So you can expect some pretty good trigger response for this. This being a beginner budget gun, or even a rental gun if you're thinking about using this for your airsoft field. So, or for rental. So putting on safe, or putting on a semi, check this out. It is very responsive. The trigger feels very nice. You can definitely do some really nice double taps on this gun. I'm going to flip it on full auto. Basically, you know how that is. So shooting on semi-auto, very fast as you can see. Putting on the Corona, I was able, with the gun stock, this is a Canadian brand by the way, so our FPSs, at least when you buy it out of the box, is unfortunately pretty high. So out of the box, this was shooting at around 390 feet per second, which is what you would expect from a typical Canadian gun when you first buy it. Now what's nice is they do include a softer spring that you can change out, which is the other thing. This thing has quick change. So what more can you want? This, if you want a game with this and your field doesn't allow, or your field FPS limit is lower, you can just, by removing the stock and getting a long enough Phillips screwdriver, you can remove the buffer tube, and then you can access the quick change spring system, and you can switch it out. You can switch the spring out. Now, the softer spring they gave you, I don't know what it is, but mine was very weak. It was only shooting at around 190 feet per second with it, so I would not recommend switching to that. I would suggest you go grab yourself maybe an M100 spring to bring it down to around 350 feet per second. So that's just a forewarning, so don't use the spring that it comes with, okay? The other thing is you got it comes with a 120 round mid-cap magazine, which is very plasticky, very light, alright, but it does the job. So it's very nice, feeds pretty well. When you want to adjust the hop, you're going to pull back on your charging handle here, and you got access, you got a, which is really nice, a rotary style hop up, and you'll actually see it's actually purple, which is kind of neat. Now you'll actually, this is different from my VFC M4, you'll actually have to turn it down to increase the hop, okay? Pulling it up decreases the hop, so you'll see a little arrow points down, okay? So at least for mine, I did 2 rotations to get it to the right BB path, but again, that will just obviously just depend on your the BB weight that you're using. So yeah, just like with any M4, it's nice that I have a rotary style hop up instead of a dial, which can get pretty annoying. Mag release on the right side, pretty standard, nothing to it. You got your typical M4 handguard here with no rails or anything, so pretty typical for like a budget M4 rifle. You could, I suppose, from if I'm not mistaken, you could possibly switch these hand guards out and possibly put some railed ones on, so that way if you want down the road you can put some attachments and stuff on it. Alright, granted, in that case you might as well just upgrade to a higher end M4 with a full metal body and rails and stuff. Typical front sight. This flash hider is 14 CCW, so if you wanted to change it out, you can. You got your sling attachments here at the front as well as at the back. So once you want to get a sling, you can easily attach your sling to this rifle. One thing I will mention is that I found the front sight to be, at least for mine, to be pretty loose. When I was zeroing this gun in, I found that the front sight was actually slanted a little bit to the right, and I actually had to pull it to the left in order to have it fully properly aligned with the sights and with the red dot when I was zeroing the red dot on this gun, which is a little bit strange. And when I actually took the handguard off, I realized that the barrel itself was pretty loose. So I did have to, now I only did this on mine, I'm not sure if you have to do it on yours. I put a little bit of super glue around the barrel on the inside. You can't see it because the handguard's in the way, but just so that this front sight post stays a bit more firm and still. Just a simple fix on my end. Not a big deal because this is just a This is gonna be just a rental gun, but yeah, it just so at least it's not as confusing when people are aiming down sights with this. So that's a little. That's the only quirk I've had with mine, as well as obviously the battery space was pretty limited. But after toying around with it, what I just showed you was the best way for me to install a battery and maintain the ability to adjust the stock length. So that's pretty much it, guys. Again, very straightforward review with this gun. There's not too much to say other than the fact that there's a lot of very nice upgrades to this gun for it being a budget gun. You got a MOSFET, you got a quick chain spring, very nice trigger response, and yeah, like very good quality shooting with this. I wish this could have been my starting gun when I first started Airsoft. I've had a freaking Canadian Tire M4, which I really shouldn't have gotten. If I could start again, this just might have been the first gun that I would have picked up to start with. So that says a lot. So yeah, like I said, guys, this isn't obviously this isn't gonna be my gun. This is actually gonna be for the Airsoft range, because we're needing to replace one of our M4s, and I really hope to one day. I'm hoping in the future I will be able to run my own little airsoft field and run some mini airsoft games or some gunfight matches. So if you're familiar with Call of Duty, where they have 2v2 matches or 2v2 gunfight matches, I'm hoping to do something similar to that. And I think if that time comes and I need rental guns, I'm definitely gonna want to look into these, getting maybe like 8 of them. So like max we have be like 4v4 or something like that. So that would be pretty awesome for sure. So again, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below, and I hope to see you guys in my future videos. And until next time, peace out, guys.